What would you rather have? A partner who is a trained lawyer or one who merely played one on TV? Yes, Chelsy Davy, the ex girlfriend of Prince Harry, has announced that she has given birth to her second child, a daughter named Chloe, several months ago. In addition to that, she is launching a new line for her jewelry collection called Aya. Meanwhile, you have Meghan Markle, who cannot even seem to get American Riviera Orchard, a just gobbledygook of a name, off the ground, and seemingly is stepping from one business disaster into another. And it's hard not to compare the two women, especially as Prince Harry approaches his 40th birthday. And you can't help but wonder if sometimes Harry has regretted some of the choices he has made, because Chelsea Davy's businesses are very connected to Africa, a place that has Harry's heart. And I'm sure she travels there quite frequently. Yet Prince Harry, who has proclaimed his love for Africa many, many times, is as far away from it as he can get and can't really seem to get there very often. His latest venture, of course, was to Nigeria, where it was more about Meghan Markle than it was about his love for the continent. And so today I thought it'd just be fun to take just a brief look at the difference between the two women. And I think the life that Harry could have led, maybe, just maybe, if he had made some different decisions. But if you guys haven't been to Royal News Network before, my name is Brittany. I provide compelling royal commentary. So if you guys want to hit that subscribe button, I would absolutely love to have you back. We have an amazing, fun time here discussing all things related to royals. So if you're not aware, Chelsy Davy dated Prince Harry, what was it, between like 2004 and 2010, or maybe it was 2003. And the couple were really each other's first loves. And it really did seem in many ways to be a good love match. Chelsy Davy is from Africa. She's very adventurous. She loved going to the continent, going on safaris. I think she did a bit of hunting. And Harry, of course, loved many of those things as well. But of course, Harry has chosen a bit of a different path in life. And I think in some ways, even Chelsea has as well. Even though she still has a deep connection to Africa, it seems like her home base is now in Norfolk in the UK. But as this story came up, as Chelsea announced the launch of a new line of jewelry, I saw the picture of her and I was like, wow, I think Prince Harry, in many ways, really did miss out. So, if you're not aware, this is Chelsy Davy's Instagram account. It is public, it was previously private. And this is the new picture she has shared. And I can't help but say she looks stunning. It looks like she's in the UK here. She's showing off her new jewelry line, which is Chloe. And you get over here, and she also announced, obviously, that she has had a second child, a daughter named Chloe as well. And she said here, POV, it's been 3 years and two babies since your last new collection, but you're mega excited to be back in the game, introducing the Chloe collection named after my baby girl. Hope you love it as much as I do. X. And I gotta say, I do love it. I do love it. So here she is showing off, or somebody within her team showing off one of the rings here. And you got earrings as well. They are lab created diamonds and emeralds. And I gotta say, guys, I'm loving the collection. But it was just great to see Chelsea doing so well, because she definitely did not have it easy in the public eye, because there was just so much of focus around her and Harry, obviously, that it was really quite a struggle for her, I think, in so many ways. But let's check out Aya. So here we go with Aya. This is the new collection. Shop now. And these are the pieces that she's introduced. And so we've got lab created diamonds and emeralds. Most of her other stuff is the actual sourced. And I got to say right now, guys, I'm really strongly thinking about the emerald studs. You guys know I have a great relationship with Ana Lucia Diamonds, which also has lab created diamonds, which I got right here. And oh, my ring's all turned around right here, and my tennis bracelet and everything. And I think I took my necklace off because I was going to change it. But I absolutely think not only is Ana Lucia amazing, if you guys are interested, again, I know I've mentioned them recently, but you can save 20% by putting in Royal 20, checking out their website. So I'll put a link in up above there real quick. But I've always had an absolute love of emerald studs. And the reason is that Blake Lively, one day, she wore this all tan outfit. So it was all neutrals. And then she had these huge emerald studs. And I was like, I want that so bad, because the emerald was just amazing. Now, these aren't as huge, obviously, but I do like the color here. Don't feel like sometimes the lab created emeralds look really cheap. I don't think these do. And so I just think they look absolutely amazing. And if you love what she does, she has a lot of natural stones here. So she does everything is sourced from Africa. This is her jewelry line because she's very passionate. She grew up in Zimbabwe. And so all of this stuff is sourced from Africa. So she has emeralds here. And obviously, since these aren't real emeralds, they're more expensive. And then we got rubies. We have some white sapphire here. And you can see very much the kind of the tusks, the influence of Africa. I feel like you get that there too. And tanzanite is one of the other stones. So she doesn't have all the stones, but she has ones that are particularly connected to the continent. And so pave diamond set there with a flat tusk. And I actually love these two bracelets as well. I think they are amazing. And so she's got lots of gorgeous pieces here. And the thing is, as somebody who would be interested in her brand, you get the sense as well that she takes what she's doing very seriously. So her story and the story of the brand is that it was founded in 2016 and it was born out of a love for one of a kind gemstones. Initially dedicated to African gemstones in honor of Chelsea's Zimbabwe heritage, Aya partnered with Gem Fields to ensure the sustainability and ethical resourcing of natural stones in order to create unique jewelry inspired by the beauty of African life and landscape. And I think this is great because, again, we've talked a lot about Meghan's lack of branding. And I recently put up a little clip of a video that ended up making members only just because it kind of had passed the time. And I was like, well, I don't know if I could put this video up and have it do like I wanted to do. But her messaging here is something Meghan totally lacks. We have no clue why Meghan named it American Riviera Orchard. I think there is a I think initially when they shared it, there was a I can't remember how she came up with the name, but the name obviously Aya is connected with Africa and everything. And so there's all this input back to the continent that is Chelsea's love. And for people who that is a big passion for, this is something that would really connect with them because you understand the branding, the messaging, all these sorts of things. And yes, maybe some of it is unaffordable, but I love how she's introducing this line that's slightly more affordable, especially with the lab created emeralds. I think that's fantastic. And they are unique designs. And it's something where even though, yes, maybe her client base isn't huge, maybe it doesn't have a massive influence, it's something that is uniquely her. And this is something Meghan is keenly lacking from American Riviera Orchard. There's no rhyme or reason to anything. We have no idea. Now, granted, she may introduce that, but Meghan should have been introducing that for the last 6 months and not just going, well, I have to wait to get the trademarks and everything and then move. And it's like, well, why don't you slowly start to build things? Not only does she have Aya here in the jewelry, she also has Aya Travel. And if you actually want some really cool pictures, I actually suggest checking out Aya Travel Instagram page because it looks absolutely gorgeous. So about us, if you look at it, and again, this is just saying why brands exist. Why did somebody create something? Because that's huge. She's the founder of this, Chelsea. And so it's Bespoke African Luxury Travel Specialists. Aya takes your African dream and weaves it into reality. We are proficient in our understanding of this diverse destination and supported by the extensive network of industry affiliates. As a result, we excel in our ability to design unique experiences tailored to your personal requirements. We take the guesswork out of travel design, providing an efficient alternative to traditional travel curation by liaising closely with a selection of carefully chosen establishments to construct an exceptional itinerary at exclusive rates. And so it's more, you could say, corporate, but what we know for sure is that Chelsea grew up in Africa. She has a very close connection to Africa. And because of that, she's probably is able to get you some cool things. So we have all these destinations. Let's say Tanzania, just for fun, where Tanzanite comes from. Oh, look at that is so cool. Tanzania is a heavily concoction of earthly elements, a utopian wilderness where life unfolds untamed across polarizing backdrop of sultry savannas and sky-gazing summits. And so again, she shares some things about this area, and obviously this has been curated by somebody else, but it's like you get the sense, you get the feeling, you're like so excited this will be so cool. Oh, and I love this picture, by the way. This picture with the leopard with the tail going around their head is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love that, by the way. And then let's see. So affiliate projects. So if you support it, you give back. I Africa and Aya Jewelry have collaborated on a selection of carefully chosen initiatives which are closely aligned with their shared values of sustainability, community, and conservation. So they're definitely putting their money where their mouth is and then just checking on inspiration. Oh, follow us. Oh, are these pictures? These are pictures. So if you guys want to go to their Instagram account and check out some of these awesome pictures. Yeah, this would be, oh, are you not like inspired right now? I am. I totally am. Oh, that'd be so cool. Oh, amazing. Okay. So let's get a bit jealous about those who get to go to Africa. Anyways, I just want to point that out there because Chelsea is, I think, truly living the life Harry probably in some ways envisioned for himself. She still has a base in the UK. It seems like she lives there most of the year now. She does have children, but she used to travel quite a bit to Africa. And I'm sure she still does now too. Not only that, is she still supporting the local African communities. So in a totally different world, Harry could have been part of that. He could have been part of Aya Travel, helping create bespoke itineraries and impacting the local communities the way I feel like he wants to. Because you look at Harry's life now and you just got to wonder, did he ever envision this for himself? And granted, of course, life takes you in totally different directions. But I feel like so often Harry is living Meghan's life, not his own. He's living what Meghan dreamed, not what they dreamed. And I could be totally wrong. I don't really know them, but you know, Harry always said his heart was in Africa. Harry was seemingly perfectly fine in the UK, and then all of a sudden, boom, Meghan's in the picture and he's not. And I get it, some of it he claims is because of, oh, the horrible media mistreated me and my wife and all the whining sessions, yada, yada, yada. But I think looking at the life Chelsea leads, I think to myself, isn't that what Harry wanted? Isn't that 2 children, a life in the countryside, away from royal duties? He still could have had that, and that's why I say sometimes, yes, Harry could have left when he was dating Chelsea. He could have left the royal fold, decide, "I don't wanna be a working royal anymore," and he decided not to do that, and we don't quite know why. It could have been a perfectly legitimate reason. Why he didn't, I don't know. But I can't help but wonder sometimes, was that his choice he made that he was always intending to make? Or really was it a choice foisted upon him? And he felt like he had no other choice but to make that leap to the United States. Because right now, he's leading, you could say, a very shallow life. Most of Hollywood is a pretty shallow place. There's no depth. I mean, I love how it was even the Newsweek was calling out Meghan Markle for poverty porn because she announced, which she didn't have to, her investment in Sesta Collective and how they sort of use the women of Africa to promote their brand and pay them, well, a living wage, not maybe a good one, but something that's pretty good. And I was like, how funny is that? Because Harry, of course, proclaims to want to have this great impact. And yet he's hanging out in industry and doing things that are really not going to go anywhere. I mean, most of their stuff is pretty lackluster. And so Chelsea, again, who is a trained lawyer, by the way, she actually went to the University of Leeds, got her law degree, and decided after a while, what, law isn't just really my thing. While she was doing an internship, I believe the press were following her pretty frequently. And so she's just like, you know what? I don't want to do this. And so she left and she's like, you know what? I love my home continent and I'm going to pursue these routes. And what's interesting about Chelsea as well is she's never spoken to the press really. She's done a couple of interviews here and there, one for Tatler, and I couldn't find it. I kept trying to find that interview. It's been a while, but I think it's one of those that they probably put behind the paywall and it's only people who have the subscription who can find it. But she did that interview and pretty much since then, she's lived a very private life. She has succeeded in living her life privately. She doesn't seek out the spotlight. Yes, she goes to some events from time to time, although it's been much less, especially since the pandemic and her obviously marriage and children now, that she seems to spend time at home. She works on her businesses. She's been busy with her babies. Even with all that, she has never been a person interested in the attention. She could have raked Harry over the coals. I have no doubt she has some pretty horrific stories about him that she could share, but she's classy. So she's like, no, I'm just going to live my life, move on. And she has. And bravo to her. She married this lovely guy named Sam Cutmore Scott, whose family also owns a travel agency, you could say. They do weddings and those sorts of things. They own several properties. And so it seems like sort of a match because she has Aya Travel. And so his family has their own connection. So I'm sure that's something that they can collaborate on and everything. And it seems like they're living their lives and just doing their own thing. And it's like, bravo for you. That is absolutely fantastic. Because I think the reality is that Harry may or may not know is that once his marriage comes to an end, Meghan Markle, she was more than willing to drag his family through the mud. Does he not think she's going to do the exact same thing to him? I have no doubt Oprah Winfrey's on speed dial. Megan's going to call her up as soon as she's like, yeah, it's done. I want to talk. I want to reveal the truth because Megan, I don't think really craves privacy. She craves control. And that is something entirely different. And then you look at the two women and their brands. We don't really even know how long it took for Aya to become the success that it is, you could say. It's still around. Obviously, Chelsy Davy had sort of a lot of money to pull from her parents. Somebody said or put out there that her net worth is 40 million. I have no idea if that's correct or not. Zero clue. And I don't really care, but I know she does have some money, obviously, to float a brand like this. She has a lot of connections in the upper echelon, and they do a lot of bespoke things, which I think is pretty cool. So here we go. We got these are bespoke. And so it looks like they actually do a decent amount of bespoke. Obviously, they're showing off a lot of their new collection here. And so you can see this is bespoke right there. This is another bespoke piece. And so I think not only do they have perhaps potentially a strong client base, but they have returnee customers and customers who want them to make custom things for them. It looks like this is custom because I don't think you can get this color usually. And so there's just a bunch of pieces here that are really unique and interesting. Oh, we had that. Wait, did we not see Chelsea wearing that? This might be actually her engagement ring, which I think would be kind of sort of awesome. Let me see. Ah, I swear I just saw that ring somewhere else. And I'm wondering, it's like, is that Chelsea's? Ugh, I don't know. Anyways, they have created some really, really amazing pieces and I think cultivated a good client base. And of course, that takes time, that takes energy, and that takes success here and focus. And again, an eye for design. I love these sort of bespoke pieces because that screams to me that they have people who really love what they're doing and love how they're ethically sourcing things. I almost wonder just looking at this is if actually their ethical sourcing is what's actually driving a lot of their business because people are like, I love how you're ethically sourcing this. I know Chelsy Davy, she has a great reputation, and I want to work with Aya to get the perfect piece that I want. And so it could be actually that bespoke creations are actually a huge source of income for the brand. And again, I think that's really, really cool. And again, just to show you Chelsea's life here, she posted these things. This is like paddle boarding and stuff. I mean, there's just such amazing pictures. It looks like she's always had a great time, traveled a ton. I think things have changed. And in order for her jewelry brand to actually be successful, she actually went to school to make it happen. And she's actually at a trade show event here, I believe, if I remember correctly, with her brand. And so she was there in Dallas showing it off. So again, I think Chelsea has done an amazing job here. Now you compare it to American Riviera Orchard. The thing we have no idea what it's going to be, what it's going to be about. We've been told like kitchenware and stuff, but we don't even know the inspiration behind it. We're told Megan just loves hosting and having family together in the kitchen and everything, but it's sort of meaningless at this point. I think in part because again, one of the things I criticize Harry and Meghan for is that they tell us these things and we never see them in action. And I think that factors into obviously their trajectory as parents because they tell us all the time parenting is so important to us. We love being parents, we love our kids, and all these sorts of things. And yet you never see them with their children. And even though I'm sure they are with their children, I'm sure they also have nannies, I'm sure a couple of different things. But at the same time, I don't have any connection to their statements of we're doing this because we're parents, because I never see them parent. When you never see somebody with their kids, it's hard to even think of them as parents. And when it comes to Meghan Markle hosting and saying that she's this great cook and everything, we have no evidence for that. She one time was really proud of the fact that she could make toast. That, you got to push the toaster thing down. If you don't believe me, watch this little clip here.
So it's pretty simple. We would start with like a great country bread or seeded bread. We can toast that if you want to pop that in there. All right, so it looks like our toast is ready. Can you grab that for me? We can start putting this together. I like to start with the apple butter, but we could do it either way. I just took some ricotta.
And so it's obviously very simple. And so we're told that she roasts chicken. We're told she does all this, yet we never see this. And obviously the cooking show is the way to go. But the other thing is, when you're claiming you're a hostess and you like having people over and everything, but you don't have a relationship with any of your family, any of his family, except for a very select few, that message just doesn't come across. Chelsy has spent a lot of time in Africa. She clearly loves the continent. And so she was like, I want to create something that takes that inspiration and that love and creates a product for it. And I think, again, that is business 101. Sometimes the best successes come from having a passion behind it. And I think that is why Chelsy's successful. Again, I don't know how much money these businesses are generating. Could be a little, it could be a lot, but they seem to keep going. And she seems to have been able to literally put somewhat Aya on the back burner while she had her kids and now is going back. And so if you're able to do that, that means your business is able to chug along pretty well without you. And so you don't need to, let's say, be doing things all the time or what have you. But with Meghan, and I put a little short up about it because I caught it from a video I was doing and I was like, man, this is And again, like I said, I didn't end up posting anything. But Meghan Markle, the sole purpose behind American Riviera Orchard, as far as we know, is to both try to keep the deal with Netflix if the program does well and to make money. Those seem to be the sole two reasons American Riviera Orchard exists. And that is Meghan Markle's fault because she could very simply and easily switch this around by merely trying to cultivate and share with the public why these things are important. Meghan still approaches everything like she's royalty and she doesn't have to do certain things because people will still buy her stuff either way. Granted, there are the people who will buy her stuff no matter what it is. But I think if she wants a broader reach and people to be invested, she has to tell us why she's invested in the product to get other people to invest in it. And that's what Meghan Markle has failed to do. Will she her own products or are they just existing there for us to purchase? Can she even get this thing done by Christmas? Because right now, I did a video yesterday talking about how basically it doesn't look like this brand will be ready by Christmas. She won't have any products by Christmas, which is pathetic. She launched this thing in March, but she launched it too early. And she's living with the consequences. Chelsy Davy launched Aya when she had a decent amount of collection and she had gone to gemmology school. So she knew how to look at the gemstones, knew how to source them ethically, knew where to get them, like all these sorts of things. And so it's like there's a trust I feel like built up there because you've learned these things about Chelsy and she's acting it out and you know where things are coming from. With Meghan, you have no idea. It just seems like a pointless, greedy cash grab and a last-ditch effort to try to save a failing brand, which is that of her and her husband. So I think in that way, Meghan will probably fail. Meanwhile, Chelsy will, I think, definitely succeed into the future. I can imagine her shutting down the brands if she's decided she doesn't want to do it anymore. That would be her reason for shutting it down, not because she can't get the trademarks or something like that. It's just because, well, I've done this for a while. I've decided to focus more on being a wife, being a mother. I'm actually interested in this different path in life. And that might inspire a change in her. Meghan, it seems like every change is a result of, I need more money. And because of that, it's hard to buy into the brand of Meghan Markle because there seems to be no foundation behind it. Again, Chelsy Davy's two brands are rooted in Africa. So it makes sense. It connects. My stuff for my Royal News Network and Royal Fashion News, if you haven't been over to my fashion channel, is rooted in my enjoyment of the royalty. I want to do a royal history channel at some point. And so everything I have is sort of connected. I think I might do other things in the future, but it'll be connected to something like history. I love history. I also have an idea for a cooking channel because I kind of wanted to riff off American Riviera Orchard. But it's because I have like this old book because I love old books because I'm a historian. I got this old cooking book and it's like very old and has these niche recipes and like every concoction known to man is in it. And I'm just curious because like there's no directions in what we would consider directions. It's like a coffee cup, a I think drinking cup or something. Like there's very strange directions here because it was printed in 1896 or something like that. It's very, very old. So that would create sort of something interesting for a cooking channel. But it's all related to my love of history. I may do another history channel, stuff like everything I have connects to passions that I have. I don't know what Meghan Markle's passions are, and I don't know if she does either. I think her general passion is I want to be famous and I want to make money and I want to live in a multi-million dollar mansion. Like everything she seems connected to, I need to make money. And if something she can't make money from it, she doesn't seem to want to do it. Whereas Chelsea's doing this, I think, in part because, well, she needs a career, but she also kind of sort of enjoys it. So I, again, can't help but think if Harry was attached to Chelsea right now, not saying that they should be, there was obviously probably really good reasons that they broke up. But I think if Harry had made the choice because of his love for Chelsea that he wanted to leave the royal family, rather than I think Meghan's pressure of, I'll leave you if you don't leave the royal family. That's just my opinion, but I'm just going to go with that. But that's just my thought. I think Harry would be happier if he had made different choices because I feel like the choices he's made in life right now are foisted upon him, not something he necessarily wanted to make. Yes, he wants to surpass his brother. Yes, he wants to have this great global footprint, but he went about it all wrong. And because of that, it's not working. Whereas I think if he had stayed with Chelsea, I think his life would have been so different and maybe somewhat happier. I don't know. Again, not saying that they should get back together, but I think Harry should have made maybe some different choices in life. And maybe that is something he's thinking about as he approaches his 40th birthday. Is it really better to go with the actress who played a lawyer on TV or an actual lawyer? So, guys, let me know what you think of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye.